President Peter Munthalika was speaking to the audience, talking to them about what is important of the Ministry of Mining, as it is a new ministry that the President Munthalika has come up with to look into mining in this country. And he was saying this just to remind the ministry that Malawi can develop only with the minerals that we have. So this ministry is very important. The president spoke a lot of things, but I think like there's something that is missing. Before I give you my own analysis and view on this, let me give you just this clip about the president speaking on this ministry of mining.
We have rare earth, niobium, uranium, rutile, gold, and graphite, just to mention a few. For our mining sector to reach its potential, we need to enhance mineral exploration. We need to invest more in skills and development at all levels, including building capacity to negotiate properly. I think one of the problems of in the past is that we did not have the capacity to negotiate good agreements. And therefore, the agreements we had were one-sided and of no benefit to Malawi at all.
Is this the missed opportunity that Professor Munthalika did not talk much about the executive order banning the exportation of raw materials when he was swearing in the Minister of Mining? Because what he spoke is just encouragement and reminding the new minister about his responsibilities. But Munthalika did not emphasize on the ban of the exportation of raw materials in this country. Because value addition of our raw materials, it's a non-negotiable issue. We must make sure that we are processing our raw materials if we are to grow our economy. There's much talk about industrialization in this country. Industrialization without mining and the processing of our raw materials is not achievable. Because resources, minerals, are crucial for development of any country in the world. If you see countries that are highly developed today and industrialized, they're not that way without minerals. In fact, African minerals have been used to develop Western countries, including America and China, are developed and are continuing developing because of the raw materials from DRC, from Africa, from South Africa. They've been taking our raw materials. In fact, the companies that mine in Africa are from Western countries. That's why Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, moved away, removed France from Burkina Faso. You know why? France was benefiting too much from the minerals of Burkina Faso without the citizens of the country benefiting. That's the same issue with Malawi and the whole Africa. The countries that are mining in Africa and they're benefiting too much without giving back to our economies. And so we are very poor. Imagine a country like Malawi has got trillions and trillions in dollars of minerals value, but we are not getting rich. What is happening is that our raw materials are going outside the country. And the president spoke about the cartel, that there is cartel from outside that is being involved in exploitation of our raw materials and is being supported by the local people in this country. Mr. President, you had an opportunity to emphasize on the ban. You'd have said the ban still stands and nobody else should export our raw materials in this country. We need to process them. These companies can set up processing companies, though the issue is, they complain that Malawi has no energy. Like we don't have enough electricity to support these plants. But I'm like, no, we can use even solar energy to empower these plants that we're going to establish in this country. And we can even generate more electricity in this country, invest in electricity. That's why we have even the Minister of Energy now, so that Malawi can have more energy to support industrialization. It is possible because mining is not happening anytime soon. This is a process. It takes times and years. So as we are waiting for actual mineral processing, we must start now adding to our grid, to our national energy grid, with more power. It can take us 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, but eventually we'll be able to have a lot of power, energy, surplus. That will be enough to hope learn our industries, power our mines, our processing plants, and help the country to grow economically. So the president, you had all the opportunity to speak about this thing. I know you are interested to make sure that Malawi develops. But how can we develop if we are not standing still, fighting against exploitation of our raw materials, and making sure that whatever we say is happening without just compromising, because we've been compromising too much. We've not been walking the talk. We're a country good at speaking and coming up with good plans and policies. But zero implementation, nothing is happening. So let's begin to work to develop our nation as we speak about industrialization, making sure that banning of exportation of raw materials remains a national priority. Let's build our country by the value of our minerals, and let's speak with power and the strong warning against those cartels that are exploiting our minerals. It's very important to do that. Malawians want to see this country developing. Poverty is too much. But do you know that we are poor, yet we are blessed with minerals? What are we doing for minerals? Should we be happy with poverty when we know we can just change it within an hour if we begin to make great use of our minerals so that we can, develop ourselves, build our nation, change ourselves, make a country a better country. It's very important that Malawi should understand that development will never come from outside the country. Development will begin to happen in this country by ourselves as we are determined to build this nation. There's nobody else who's going to develop this nation if ourselves are not serious on what we want to achieve as a nation. We cannot be waiting for donations, handouts, and people's help for us to develop when we ourselves have good hands, minds, brains, government resources, and we are not developing it. Yet all these things are in abundance, available for us to use. But it seems like we want just only to be poor, and it's a good thing that we are poor. I think that is what is wrong with us. Let's begin to build this nation, to develop this nation, to make this nation better. It's ours. As we are people who feel like getting rich is very important for the lives of our people. I think now beginning to make sure that we're using our resources to benefit us all cannot just only be something that we hope, but we want to see it happening with our own eyes and the nation getting better as we live. Look at South Africa. It's well developed. Minerals help to develop South Africa. Mining. I should tell you, mining developed South Africa. The whole South Africa was developed by mining. And South Africa is in the same geographical position with Malawi and the rest of Southern Africa. If South Africa is rich in minerals, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Zambia, Malawi, and all other countries here in SADC are also rich in minerals, as the rest of Africa is blessed with minerals. So you cannot tell me South Africa is only blessed. We are all blessed, and we need to begin to use our minerals properly to develop. We can have another Johannesburg in Malawi. We can have another Cape Town in Malawi. We can have another New York, London in Malawi. We can have Malawi to be a very industrialized country. Our economy can transform and the whole country can greatly develop if our minerals are used properly. We need to be thinking about it. How can we use our minerals properly? This is all about value addition, processing, setting up plants here in Malawi that can be processing these minerals. Because that's the only way we can sell them at the highest value. But without that, minerals in Malawi would just be going away, would just be useless, because we haven't added value to them. Thank you for watching this video. We'll come again with more videos to talk about how we can develop our nation with our minerals and resources that we have that's so abundant in Malawi. We need to think about this thing. Let's talk to our president, to our leaders, that they can do better. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, this is the time now. I would like to ask you humbly to subscribe to my channel, like my video, and leave a comment. It's very important to do that. Thank you for your support. If the time, thank you. Everybody else, thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.